Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Baldwin number 0600.18 in a 102 finish. This is a typical flush bolt, a manual flush bolt. The 0600 is the classic flush bolt. I don't know how many decades this has been the manual flush bolt from Baldwin. In a 18-inch length versus the 12-inch, which is the standard, 18, or 24-inch length you can buy from them. In a 102 finish, which is Baldwin's code for oil rub bronze, is what that is. Now, why would you need the 18-inch? Well, the 12-inch is the standard, and that references from the top of the door or the bottom of the door to the center of the faceplate. If you have a 6'8" door or a 7-foot door, a 12-inch dimension from the top of the door to the center of the faceplate is perfect. If you have an 8-foot door or something taller, or a user who wants the flush bolt brought further down, you simply increase that distance. 18-inch would be typical for a door that would be taller than 6'8", certainly. If you're going to 8-foot height, I would really think a 24-inch would be more appropriate. And beyond that, you would go with a longer extension as well. Although Baldwin doesn't directly offer those extensions, we can supply you with longer rod from a different vendor should you get into 9-foot tall, 10-foot tall doors, or an application where you just need it to be longer. 12-inch is most common. 18-inch, it's really not common at all in my experience. And then 24-inch would be probably the most second common. Now, let's take a look at the item. Let's pull it out of the packaging here. The name Baldwin is synonymous, of course, with very high-quality residential hardware. I've been selling Baldwin for, at this point, a quarter century, and have been able to learn or digest much of the product line, literally the hard way. When you're dealing with something as easy as a flush bolt, not too much to know about other than the color and then the size, but when you get into their estates, handle sets, lots of different part numbers to learn. That had always been a challenge. However, the payoff of Baldwin is that it is exceptional quality material. That is a fact. Very good caliber hardware, and has always been. I not only sell Baldwin, but I use it personally and have installed it personally over the years. Now, they do not supply with the hardware a technical drawing of this whatsoever, but we're going to endeavor to locate one and make reference to it after we do our visual tour. Let's take some visual study of the item, and then some dimensional properties as well. This will be 6 3/4 tall. This will be 1 inch wide. Okay. The rod that is included, very nice quality rod, very heavy duty. This is not your average material. When I install this down into the body by threading it here is simply what I'm doing. Okay. When I measure from what would be the top of the door to the center of that faceplate, it's certainly going to be 18-inch. And as I do that here in my desktop, I can sure guarantee and confirm that that is the case. So that's where that reference is made from. The top of the bolt head, you'll notice, is not round. Almost looks like the capital letter D. That is by design. That is intentional. The plate that would mount to the top of the door or to the bottom of the door, but an 18-inch is going to be mounted at the top, also has that D preparation in it. Forgive me. I thought I could do that without removing it from the packaging. And the reason it has that D preparation in it is you don't want it to move at all on you. I'm going to pull that out of the packaging. Okay, here we go. So this plate is going to be mounted to the bottom or top of the door, and that D preparation is literally intended to prevent that bolt head from moving over time, because without it, they will unthread. They will. They'll come undone, a rod will fall into the door, a bolt head will fall off, and that's why that looks like that, and you must use that for proper long-term sort of installation. Okay. You're also going to get a strike plate, which was also seen in the packaging there in a complimentary finish. Let's pull that out too. These are generally about 2 1/4 inch long by about 15/16 wide, if my memory serves. 2 1/4 by 15/16. Yeah, they're just shy on 1 inch, so keep that in mind. Okay, and then of course screws for everything. Now the technical drawing of the item. Let's see if we can find that. I'm going to pause this video, and when we come back, I will have a link to it. So I've located that template, and by the time you're seeing this video, it will be uploaded. Now, when you look at that template, it'll be called template, so by all means refer to it as we're talking here. You'll notice that it has dimensional properties on the right side of the flush bolt itself, which we've already gone over, and the strike. I didn't give you the dimensional properties of the guide, but you can review that there. Now, you'll see on the right-hand side, specify bolt length. Okay, we discussed where you would use that, but that's where it's coming in from. Into play, I should say. 12 inch, 18 inch, 24 inch. Now, the entire left side really gives you everything you need to know regarding the mortising for this bolt. Now, manual bolts like this are really not intended to go on wood doors, but certainly the overwhelming majority of time that you see these is on wood doors. And the reason I say that is because they're not easy to install if you've never done it, and they're not easy to install if you've never done it and don't have the right tools for doing it. So if you're going to want to order your doors prepped for these from your door manufacturer who has the knowledge, the experience, the tools. What I mean is, you can route that 6 3/4 by 1, the depth that's necessary here for the faceplate, which is 1/8 of an inch, 0.125. You can also route the depth of 1 1/4 by 5 3/4 for the body. So you're really going to do 2 preparations in the door for this piece of hardware. You're going to do the plate, which will be 6 3/4 by 1 by 1/8 of an inch, but you're going to first do the body prep, which will be, they give you a width of 15/16 by 5 3/4 by 1 1/4 deep. So you'll make that preparation first, the center line being the magic dimension from the top or the bottom of the door to the center line. Once you have the body prep, and you'll notice the 5 3/4 is exactly 1 inch less than the overall. That's because they want 1/2 of an inch from where the screws are. Okay? So be mindful of that as well. Once you make that body prep with your router, you can then go back and do the face prep, and do the face prep second, so that if when doing the body prep you happen to make some unintentional contact with the router, you can go back and clean it when you're doing that face prep. At least that's just how I always have done it. Not that there was really a problem with that, but exiting the piece with my tool in that order is what I like to be able to do. Now, however, you'll notice on the left-hand side there's a reference to where the bolt comes down through the top of the door. And that's where the challenge comes in. How are you going to drill a hole clear 15 inches through a door and do so straight? Well, there is a fixture you can buy. There's a fixture for doing this. There's a long drill bit you can buy. You should be able to make this work with a 24-inch drill bit. But that's really where the trick comes in. You clamp the fixture down onto the door, and then you start to drill that door and pull out what you've drilled out. The problem is, depending on the door construction, you could have a less dense material glued to a denser material. That drill bit might seek its way to the less dense material. You might, out of inexperience, rupture the edge of the door coming out. And if you've got a seam between those two pieces of wood, that's where the trouble is going to come in. So be mindful of the fact that this bolt, while it's installed on wood doors all the time, is not necessarily going to be an easy chore to get installed into an existing door. But if you're supplying doors, have the manufacturer of the doors prep for these because they can do it easily. It's a very common thing for such a scenario. Available, moving now on to the rest of the finishes. Obviously, this Baldwin 0600 is available in every sort of finish available from Baldwin, being made of architectural bronze or brass. Anything can be done, and this is the oil rub bronze finish. Being a living finish, every oil rub bronze piece is going to look marginally different from the next. But I'm a fan of Baldwin, and have been for years because I personally enjoy the ability to so heavily detail every piece of hardware that it allows you to provide your client exactly what they're looking for. Their builder's hardware is exceptional quality. Every time that I have need to call their technical support department, which is occasional, not often, but it does happen, they are, without exception, excellent, and a couple of times went way beyond what was necessary for me to get the answer. But it was crucial to have the answer because of a confluence of using the hardware in an application that wasn't necessarily exactly straightforward and out of the textbook. But it's their fit and finish that you're going to most appreciate. Excellent quality fit and finish. I'm partial not only because of those aforementioned reasons, but I use the material myself as well in my own home. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Baldwin products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. And what you're going to find also on that page will be several additional catalogs, including some stuff that's quite old, no longer available. For instance, there is a Baldwin Estate, a specifications and price list that's several years old at this point. The template book is there as well. And then we'll keep other updated references, reference documents there as well. If you have any questions on the Baldwin 0600 flush bolt in a 102 finish or any other Baldwin item, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.